Okay, welcome to part 2 of this Saito FA200 Ti mystery engine. And I've got the engine. I just decided to just take it off its engine mount because it's going to have to come off there anyway to access this stuff, and just bring it upstairs like this. I'm going to do a minimal amount of disassembly of this engine, just enough to get the heads off, take the timing covers off, and retime this engine. So one of the things I want to mention that I think I showed in the first video when I got this from Keith was that, and I also kind of touched on it yesterday too, is that I think we've got, I think there's actually 2 different heads on this engine. It seems like, because, or they've just done some additional work, because this one, it said, Clarence Lee said they were like, 100S engines, which I've never seen a 100S engine. I think that was a misprint. FA100 engines, but then he went on to say that maybe the rear one or maybe both were 91 cylinders because of how the 91 cylinder already had provisions for mounting and screwing, drilling holes in the sides of the head. But anyway, so the differences in these heads is here, the front cylinder is completely machined out for wrench access. This side is ground down flat, as is this side. Now this rear cylinder is not like that at all. This rear cylinder looks like an older style cylinder where it just has a little bit of cutouts here for wrench access, but it's not milled out like that, or cast out. That's probably a casting. And the sides where the exhaust and intake go are not flat like they are on this side. So to me it looks like these are 2 completely different heads, but I guess that's really neither here nor there. Now one of the things I'm going to do that I don't necessarily have to do, but in my investigation to discover, Keith told me that the fellow that sold it to him said this engine is new, never run. So that leads me to wonder, how did it get in this condition of it being mistimed? And I think the last video and comments, and from what Harvey tells me, we all agree that this engine is not timed properly. So here's that gasket, Harvey. It is intact and it's in place. I'm going to take these little covers off just because A, is cool to do. You can see the workings of the connecting rod. I have no intention of removing the connecting rods, but I want to just do smell test. Now to me that smells like machine oil. That just smells like factory to me. Doesn't smell like fuel residue in the least. Now I've got 2 different containers here, one for the front cylinder and one for the rear cylinder, so I'm going to be keeping the parts segregated in that way. I don't believe I'll be able to see top dead center, but you can see how there's only a 30-degree offset in these. I think I'm just go ahead and put this cover back on. I don't want to risk screwing up that gasket. For now I'll just leave this one cover off so we can kind of look in there. So like I said, I'm going to do a minimum of disassembly here. Obviously I'm going to have to take the carbs off. So let's start, or the carb, singular. Start with that. I did have the carb loosened up the other day. And it was, I was trying to get the intake manifolds off, and it was one of those things where you really need to have these screws out, or at least really loose, to kind of help give you some wiggle room for those things. And there's our carburetor assembly. Now it has a connection here, so that seems fine. I mean, so far I'm not seeing or smelling any kind of evidence this thing has ever been run. The oil that's in it just smells like machine oil, which is what makes this so interesting. Could it be that this actually came from the factory like this? Is it actually possible that Saito shipped an engine? Now that did not seem super tight. I'm typically pretty good about feeling what a fastener should feel like coming loose from the factory, and that is not what it should feel like. So we might have already discovered which one of these cylinders was messed with. Because I'm expecting when I break loose a fastener that's come from the factory, it should really have a distinct feel to it. I mean, it should really snap. Every single brand new engine that I've ever removed fasteners, it doesn't even have to be a brand new engine. Every single engine that I'm absolutely certain of that's never had bearings replaced or been disassembled before, OS, every brand, just has a very distinctive feel and snapping when that screw's breaking loose. Yeah, I keep lifting it up to smell it. That just smells like total machine oil to me. Oh my God, I mean, that's just, I don't even know if you're going to be able to see in there or not, but that is just, the bottoms of those valves, this has never been run, for sure. The bottoms of those valves still look like they have the machining swirling marks on them. Sasha's in this box here. So yeah, I'm pretty convinced right now that this engine has never been run. So I'd like to see if I can just take, and I just felt compression on this cylinder here. I'd like to see if I can get the piston off just so it's not flipping and flopping around. And it looks like it's going to be incredibly cooperative. This is just yet another way to tell that this engine has never been run. If you can simply just pull that pin out. Now that pin seems to have a little bit of a fuely odor to it, but that could just be because of all the fuel that I forced this. That's fuel residue. I don't know if there was no combustion when I just did this the other day, so there was no combustion that took place, so that felt like fuel residue to me. And you know, it is. It smells like it. So maybe this engine was run, fired up one time, maybe. I don't know. I mean, but you look inside. I can get a better look inside here, I think, than you're going to be able to. But I mean, geez, you look at that and you're like, that just came right from the factory. Can you hop down, Sasha, please? Thank you. So I guess the next thing is maybe just go ahead and take this off. Harvey was saying something about like maybe just try and hold this at top dead center when I pull that off and hope that I'm at the right top dead. Let's see here. There's compression on this cylinder. So that would be top dead center for that cylinder. This would be compression for this cylinder. So in theory, if I could somehow hold this thing perfectly like this and remove these. Oh, you know what I want to do? I think what I want to do is, let's see here, which one is the, let me just see if I can take these things off and see if I can get these tappets out using a magnet, strong magnet, and then maybe I can just check and see if I can, oh, look at that, that's beautiful. See if I can feel that. It should be on this side. Here's my screwdriver that I used to check for timing. Now we should still be at top dead center for this, so let me just take the cam follower out for this one too. Okay, so cam followers are out, and now I've hosed this up, so that's compression here. Let's just check here. Yeah, this just dropped into the detent there. And I think we're on the compression stroke for this engine, or this cylinder, front cylinder. Let's go around again. So I'm feeling compression now, which means this is at top dead center, right? This is confusing to me. It dropped right into the timing mark there. So I don't know. This is confusing for me. I'm going to have to let other people that are watching, particularly Harvey and others. So I'm rotating this through. No compression. See? Let's see here. This is the intake side. So this thing just... I'm rotating. It's intaking here. See that intake? We're at top dead center. So this is just did its intake stroke, which means, what does that mean? Does it mean that this one's at bottom dead center now? Can't be, because they're offset by 30 degrees. This is just really confusing to me. Let me just see if I can... Okay, so that was on that intake stroke, and I'm not feeling that. So let's rotate it through compression. I'm starting to feel compression here. Alright, no, not here. Starting to feel compression. So this is the compression stroke right here for the front cylinder, and this is at top dead center, and that drops into the timing hole. So that's the issue, I think, is that timing hole, I shouldn't be dropping into that until here. So I'm just going to leave it like that and take these off, and maybe we can really quickly throw that head back on and just see if I've got compression going back and forth. It was nice that those cam followers just came right out, because if this is all there is to it, it's just resetting this, and that's awesome. So I guess I'm still kind of confused as to whether this actually was run. I mean, that sure as hell felt like fuel residue to me. Let's see here. So this has still got grease from the factory. At least, I think, unless that's just... I don't know if Saito puts grease on these things. But I mean, this thing is all slathered with grease. And it only has one timing dot, which should correspond to this location here, and it does. So that should be the timing for this, as long as I make sure that I'm at top dead center here. I don't have a jig to hold this thing up. Right now that's timed, and this is at top dead center here. So in theory, the job should be done right now. I'm going into compression right now on front cylinder. And I should be going into compression here right now on this cylinder, and I should be able to drop this into that timing mark again. And it's in that timing mark. So I'm going to take the plug out of here. I know this might be getting to be a little bit longer video than I really anticipated it being, but I may end up doing this a few times just to verify things. But I think I think I've got this corrected already. I have no idea how long that thing had been sitting there telling me that I was over 30 minutes. No idea of knowing. It doesn't give me an audible clue. That's about enough to piss you off. Anyway, I've got the head back on, so I don't know where this thing stopped recording. Almost think I had a better angle yesterday in here. So right now I'm at this is intaking, front cylinder's intaking, everything else is up. Exhaust, intake, exhaust. And when I say these words, I'm just saying that's what the status of that rocker is. Intake, it's down, that means it's down. Everything else is up. I'll have to reset the valve lash. Oh, that was exhaust, I'm sorry. Intake, exhaust, intake, should have exhaust. So yeah, this is opposite now. This feels right. So now I just need to stop the video and go and see how much of it I lost because it stopped recording on me, and hopefully not much. Put this thing back on the stand and maybe I can see if I can try and do a quick run with it tonight.